point. Titanfall 2 is £4 on Steam, Tony. That's a fucking steal.
It is. It's a good game. It's that's that Apex game, isn't it? It's in the Apex universe.
It's the Apex Legends universe game. Yeah.
Well, I think someone said it's crazy how Titanfall 2 has the same guns as Apex.
That's what I said when I played it. Hello, welcome to Tangerine Movement games. I've been playing a lot of games with movement in them. As you could tell, two of my favourite things: shooting people and moving around in game form. This is Hellpie. We've talked about Hellpie on Steam Demo Fest before. I said this is it was one of my favourite Steam demos from the Demo Fest, and I believe I said the words. It had hat in time level indie platforming. What's Nate doing here at his computer desk? He's shaking a bottle! What did you think he was doing?
Well, I was about to do something else, and...
What? So, if you don't know, Hellpie is a 3D collectathon where you play as the Demon of Bad Taste.
Sorry, Aeon, what was that quote? Don't limit your challenges, limit yourself.
Aim for the moon if you... Okay, I didn't read the inspiration.
I said if you aim for the moon, if you miss, you will hit nothing.
So, the plot of Hellpie is you are the demon of bad taste, and Satan, your boss, wants you to get the ingredients to make a hell pie for his birthday. Or rather, that you're getting them for the chef to bake the hell pie. And that's kind of the main premise of the game. No, you're not in charge. You're a lackey.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the devil's delegated the hell pie to the chef, and the chef's delegating it to you, basically.
Right.
Yeah. This game was really fun. I really enjoyed playing the full version of this game. I loved the demo because it had that tight platforming. I loved the theme of, like, you know, demons and that sort of stuff. One thing I wanted to mention, Tony, I don't know if you've seen, like, Yahtzee Zero Punctuation in a while. I was watching his YouTube videos recently. I'm like, has Yahtzee been stalking me? Like, all the games Yahtzee's playing are the games that I've been playing as well, which is kind of crazy. Like, not like AAA games. He's been, like, for example, he's been playing Hellpie, Fashion Police Squad, and Neon White, and I'm like,
I think people are recommending them to him.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, but in a lot of his stuff, it's like,
I feel like
he wouldn't normally play it.
I feel like not a lot of people know about stuff like Fashion Police Squad and Hellpie. Stuff.
No, I think
which is a shame because they're good games.
Yeah. I think what's been happening is like he's been like being really disillusioned with like AAA games. Like, I don't really want to review them, sort of thing. So it's like people are like, why don't you play this game? Is like, okay.
Oh, and I think to point out, this is another game with ray tracing and DLSS in it, which is always cool to see.
Yeah, more games.
So, this is the new intro to the game, because the demo you just start basically in like a shit dungeon. And that's all like the tutorial.
The sewer level.
Yeah, the classic sewer level. And then you go into the open world, and it gives you like half an hour to play around on the first hub world of the game. There's 3 hub worlds basically in the full game. There's the sushi island place. There's the jungle. Oh wait, there's the sushi restaurant. There's the island. There's the jungle, and then there's heaven. There's 4 hub worlds.
Okay.
And then in these hub worlds, there's 3 levels. I think it is. And then in between you have like a bunch of collectibles, so you'll either be collecting gems to unlock new costumes, horns to unlock, to sacrifice like goat horns in order to get new horns, and new horns give you new abilities.
Oh, okay, right.
And then there's also collecting the golden cats, which is essentially just a vanity thing where Greed wants you to collect golden cats, and then he unlocks more rooms in Greed's vault.
It's really interesting, like the amount that you can interact with, and just like it's like attention to detail.
So this is the new intro to the game. Like, you don't get to see like the CEO of Hell and stuff like that. And there's like this is like the branding tutorial. This stuff is all really cool. I still love
the grotesqueness.
I still love the fact that you enslave an angel called Nugget and you force him to swing. Once you've unlocked...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's really cool.
What I love about this game is it starts off with like quite simple platforming, but by the end of it, it gets to a point where once you unlock all the movement abilities, you can like master the movement in a way where you can just go like flying across levels, which I personally love that sort of stuff. I find really fun. I did find like the collectathon aspect was really cool. Like, I 100%ed this game, and I played this game when it came out, so I had to find all the stuff for myself. There wasn't any guides when it came out, so I had to like try and figure everything out for myself, sort of thing, which was a lot harder than it normally is when you can just go, oh, where's that last, you know, golden cat I need for this level? Let me look this up.
Oh, there's wall climbing. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then there's these little portals that are checkpoints, but if you want to see more of the like tutorial stuff, you can check out our Tangerine video from the Steam Demo Fest. But I'll just move on to a new level. So this is one of the new outfits. And this is one of the things I thought was quite funny. It's a sushi restaurant, but they're essentially they're taking the sushi out of a live whale. And this level takes place inside the whale.
Yeah.
So you'll see they're just like cutting chunks of this whale up while they're inside of it, sort of thing. Which I thought was like kind of like grotesquely genius, I would say, in some way.
Grotesque humor, platformer, collectathon.
I will say, like, some of the stuff is just grotesque. Like, it Hellboy tries to be comedic, but sometimes it does fall a little bit flat. It's not really... I think it's trying to make a joke, but it's not particularly funny. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, some people find grotesqueness funny by itself, so...
Yeah, it was more like toilet humor sometimes. I'm not...
Yeah.
That's not really for me, generally.
No, I like clever grotesqueness.
Yeah. I believe Zero Punctuation called it Conker's Bad Fur Day without the wit. Which I thought was maybe an apt description of this game. But it's still, like, insanely fun, is the thing. Like, because, as you know, as I'll definitely be talking about when we go into... with this game, for sure, and then Neon White, I'll talk about the concept I have of... I'm more of an... I think I have the concept of a nuts and bolts guy, where I'm not too worried about the story or the graphics of a game. I'm more interested in how it feels and plays, is what I would say when... Just look at this, they're just cutting up this fucking whale while they're in it. Oh, you collect dog food to feed to Nugget, which gives you new movement abilities. You feed your enslaved angel dog food.
It makes sense.
You also, you hit your enemies with Nugget, and if you swing into a wall, Nugget just, like, face plants into the wall. I do feel kind of bad for Nugget, and then on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of hilarious. In some aspects.
Yeah,
what was I saying? Hellpie is a game where, you know, sometimes it falls flat with the comedy, and that's fine with me because the gameplay is fantastic. It is an amazing 3D platformer. Like, mechanically, it is on level with A Hat in Time. Well, I like how they're just stabbing this whale from the outside, sort of thing. There's a bunch of, like, hippies outside protesting it as well.
Yeah, this disgusting interior.
Like, I like some of the humor in this game, but I can see where people don't always like it, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not for everyone.
But yeah, I was especially be talking about how I can look past, like, story and stuff like that when it comes to Neon White as well. We'll be talking about later in the movement section, because that's a game where I really don't like the story stuff or the like anime visual novel stuff, and I think, you know, that's not just like a me thing. That's like a lot of people who are into that sort of stuff agree it's not good, sort of thing. But yeah, I think, man, I really loved Hellpire. I'm going to be talking. So, spoiler alert for the end of games year list. I think Hellpire and Neon White are probably up there for my two favorite games I've played this year that came out in 2022. Obviously, I've played a lot more games in 2022 than I have games that came out this year. So, as always, we will be talking about a mix of games that came out this year. Say these are the games of 2022, and then we'll be saying, hey, this is the best game I played this year, because a lot of the time I play games that didn't come out in the year I played them, and there's nothing wrong with that because they're still great games. So I think that's
you don't want to do the trap of like, oh, I need to play every game to like, find the best one either. Like I feel like it's best just to play it when you want to.
Yeah.
I'm liking the variety of this game though. Like even like in this like area, like I feel like there's quite a bit of variety in like exploring.
Yeah, there's definitely like lots of different levels. Like one thing you'll be inside a whale that's a sushi restaurant. Next thing you'll be in a jungle where everything is a penis, basically. Then you'll be in like heaven, fighting angels and stuff like that. There is a lot of like I like the art design. I think the art design's really good in this game. And I think generally
the colours really pop.
Generally, if you're like me and you're like, I just fucking love 3D platformers, check out Hellpire. It is good if you can look past the crudeness. If that's not your thing, it is generally there's a really really tight and time level platforming inside this game. It's really really cool. So highly recommend you check out Hellpire.
Yeah, it does. It is fantastic.
Oh, next we have another amazing game with movement in it. We have
TF2.
TF2, guys. We've got TF2. I've finally got around to playing TF2 for a Tangerine. So, some background for me. I don't know if you know this or the people watching this know this. I am a huge Apex Legends fan.
I mean, I knew that.
Yeah. I have over 500 hours on Apex Legends.
Have you ever talked about that?
I don't think I've ever really talked about Apex.
Okay.
But I'm like a massive Apex fan. The reason I love Apex and Respawn is Apex has this amazing movement system in it. And the gunplay and the movement just blend together so smoothly. And I know that Apex came after Titanfall 2, and people say, you know, Titanfall's 2 multiplayer campaign is really, really good. So I gave it, I was like, you know what, I'm going to play this, because I really wanted to try it out. And what I got to say is, yes, Titanfall 2's campaign is so good. And is also really so weirdly familiar to me, because I'm playing Titanfall's campaign and I know all of the weapons already. It's like having deja vu for something you've never experienced. It is so strange. It's like, I know exactly how to move in this game, and I know all the weapons already, but I've never played it, which is like a weird thing to feel or say. But it is like, you do get to, you know, experience that, you know, that Apex level movement and design. Like if you're someone like me who's never played Titanfall 2 or has only played Apex, you definitely will want to play Titanfall 2 if you enjoyed Apex. And even if you haven't played Apex, like I think Titanfall 2's campaign is definitely something worth checking out. Okay. Yeah, it is really cool.
Because I've always I do own Titanfall 2, and it's like a game I wanted to play. Because obviously I don't play multiplayer games. I'm kind of glad that the campaign is good. So obviously Titanfall 1 didn't have a campaign, right? Like it was just
I'm one of the few people who's played Titanfall 1.
Right. But I remember when Titanfall 1 came out, I was like watching people playing, go, oh, this is so cool. I wish there's a single player campaign with these mechanics.
Yeah, because it was a mix.
I love the mechs.
It was a mix of like you would run around on the ground, like fighting enemies or like AI. A lot of the time, you were just fighting like ground units, and then you would kill enough or get enough like points or something, and then you'd be able to summon your mech. The whole time I was playing, like the mech stuff is really cool. The mech stuff is really fast and fluid and fun. Don't get me wrong, like the mech stuff is cool, but sometimes I was like, I want to go back to being outside the mech because like running around is so fluid and smooth.
Isn't it not cool that they've got like two ways of playing that are both good? And you're like, I
just
want to
like,
play the other
oh,
one.
so like, I'm immediately, you can see me shooting these guns. I'm like, I know the Wingman, I know the Spitfire, I know the R99, I know the R201 or the R301 as it's called in Apex Legends.
Right.
But yeah, I think because this is something interesting. Because you have this thing called the Gauntlet, where you try and get through it as quickly as possible. You have to run, kill targets, and get to the end. And then basically, because this is an interesting way to do it. Essentially, based on the time you get in this, it suggests a difficulty for you. So the game will be like, you should play on this difficulty because this is how you did in the Gauntlet. I think
that's a really good idea.
I think I got a really bad score immediately. Because my key bindings were fucked up.
Okay.
Because I think it was like play on easy or normal or something, and I was like, oh, I need to fix my key bindings. And then I played it again with like my actual like Apex key bindings, and I was like, oh, this makes a lot more sense now. And then it said I should play the game on hard. And for someone like me who's, played 500 hours of Apex Legends and plays lots of shooter games, like I think hard is a good difficulty to play Apex on.
Right.
But obviously, if you're going to play this, I think this is a good test of what difficulty you should be playing it on. Just go into the, so what does it say here? Regular, it said here, because
right.
I had to change up my bindings and stuff.
I think it's a really cool idea. Like, I feel like a lot more games like do like a similar thing, like test. Like, I'm thinking of like integrating into at the start of the tutorial, like sort of like that sort of idea. And it's like, okay, but now we recommend this difficulty. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, you get like an achievement for beating Anderson's time in the Gauntlet sort of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wait, what difficulty was that? Finish. Beat Anderson's time. So I think that sets it to hard, or I think I was rebinding my settings again, sort of thing. But let's like go into like the actual gameplay. The actual like campaign itself is really cool and really cinematic, and not cinematic in a bad way, which I will talk about in a different Tangerine video. Where I'm not a fan of games that are cinematic by just completely taking away control of the player. You're essentially watching a video. This is how you do cinematic stuff well. I think it was like, I don't know if Alex Battaglia from Digital Foundry was quoting somebody else, but he was basically saying, if something cool is happening to the character, you should never show a cutscene of the character doing it. You should let the player play it.
Yeah,
essentially,
it makes sense. Like, it's the cool stuff. You don't want to like.
You don't want to watch. You don't want to watch somebody when your character's doing something cool. You don't want to essentially be watching somebody else do that cool thing. You want to do that cool thing.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that they're playing the levels, that the levels themselves are cinematic, not that they've got cinematics.
Like there's such Titanfall 2 has such a great mix of like ground combat and Titan combat, where you'll go through a level and for some reason you won't be able to use your mech sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or your Titan as they're called here, you'll go through a level and the ground combat is fantastic. Great movement, that sort of stuff, right? And then at the end, you'd be like, right, now you get to go into the time at the end. It's almost like your reward at the end, where you get into the Titan, and then all of the enemies that you were having problems with, they essentially become ants to you, and you start just like blasting them down in this giant like mech Titan. It's so cool, and it's not like, because I've played Mech Warrior before. Mech Warrior's like very much, it's a serious mech.
Yeah, it's a slow mech, like slow tank mech sort of thing, not a fast-paced.
Like like Titanfall 2 is like what arcade races are to like sim races, or what.
I was gonna make a reference that you might not like. The Titans are more like anime mechs opposed to like a more realistic mechs.
What do you mean by realistic mechs? Because mechs don't exist.
True, but if they did, they'd be slower. But you know, like in I'm more thinking like in terms of anime, like, they just like move a lot faster, and like they're just like making it like for show for like like animated series.
But I think like you feel that fluidity difference between
Yeah.
you know, Titanfall 2. Like it's not just the ground thing. Like being in the mech feels great as well, and each mech has its own loadouts as you unlock more loadouts throughout the game. And I assume they're the loadouts for the multiplayer because that's probably how they set it up, right? There's like here you can basically you could see like how each mech plays, and then when you go on to play the multiplayer stuff, you don't just fight like you're fighting like rebels or like a terrorist or something like that, where they're fighting against your like government or whatever, right? But there's also you also fight like robots. You also fight like these like dinosaur alien things as well. There's also like enemy variety.
I saw they mentioned Apex Predators were coming. Is that a reference to the hit game Apex?
Yeah, there was this really popular multiplayer game called Apex. And they made a single-player campaign for it. I don't know if you heard recently, but they're making a game set in the Apex Legends universe.
Yeah.
But what essentially happens is you're like a trainee, like a private sort of in the army, and your like mentor just suddenly like dies sort of thing, and then you have to like become like this greenhorn rookie. You have to very quick, because usually you don't get your own mech until you're like a battle-scarred veteran.
Yeah, which makes sense.
But then you just get very quickly put with this mech, and it's almost like pilots bond with their mech. You'll have like conversations with your Titan sort of thing.
Yeah.
You'll see like sometimes there's button prompts where you can say different lines of dialogue to your mech, which I assume say similar things, but it feels nice to, at least... It's not like a choice that completely changes how you talk to your mech, but it's like you can have a small like choice in what you say to your mech, sort of thing.
It grounds you to the story, like grounds to the characters, I suppose, more than choices.
I was like, that's going to be a stealthy execute, isn't it? He just pulls out a fucking glizzy and blasts it, like
5 shots to the head. Yeah, I was like, is there stealth in this game? Okay.
I think you can't. There is like a cloaking ability you can get. So there is like a cloak you can use.
Primitive stealth, I suppose. Oh yeah,
pretty useful. Yeah. Man, I love this game. It is so. The Titanfall 2 campaign's not like crazy long either. I think it took me about 6 hours to beat the campaign on hard. Like, which isn't...
That's not too short either. Like,
no, I don't think it's too short either.
In between.
I'd say like a good campaign length for a game is probably around like 6 to 8 hours, I would say.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, it depends on the game and like if you're 100%ing or collective thing, everything sort of thing,
I think for FPS, like in terms of, I think that's pretty.
Inflation has completely fucked your pound to hours played ratio you used to have for.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know what it is anymore.
We used to say
the energy crisis has fucked it.
We used to say like it's a pound per hour spent in the game, but that just doesn't make sense anymore.
No. I mean, it should, but it's unfortunate that it doesn't.
Also, you can't swim in this game. Do not go in the water. I found that the hard way.
You can't swim.
No, there's no swimming in TF2.
Can you swim in Apex?
You can go in water. Like, if this was... you can't go off the map into water. There's, like, water in Apex. I thought I could make... Okay. I thought this was shallow water. It turns out it's not.
Okay, just instant blackness. Okay.
Instantly just reloads me to a checkpoint where all the enemies are alive. I was like, shit, I gotta do this again. That's fine. This is fun. There's
like one of the old 2010 games.
One thing I'll say before we move off of Titanfall is it's not just like standard military shoot stuff. There's really interesting levels as well. There's a level that is entirely set in like 2 places where you have to shift through different time frames in order to complete it. That's a really interesting level. And that's one of the more interesting... There's an entire level that's built in a house building factory, and you have to run through it as these houses are like being built and all these platforms are moving, and it's this really fun, interesting like platforming challenge as you're shooting all these enemies. That's a really fucking sick level. There's entire levels set like on giant moving ships. There is so many really fun levels in Titanfall 2. I recommend anyone to check out Titanfall 2. It is a really, really fun single-player campaign experience. It's just a huge shame that the multiplayer is just completely fucked because of hackers and EA won't fix it. Like
and Apex.
It's an absolute shame. Apex is fine.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, because they got Apex, they don't want to fix it. Is what I'm assuming is happening. I mean, it's not Apex's fault, obviously, but yeah, it's a shame. Both can exist. Because, like, here's the thing, like, I like Apex, but where are the mechs?
Well, where's the anime, Tony? You know I'm a huge anime fan. This was a surprise hit for me. I played the Steam Demo Festival, and I saw... So, let's go back to the beginning. I saw this originally this debuted at a Nintendo Direct. I was just randomly watching a Nintendo Direct, and this came on, and I was like, oh, it's some anime garbage, right? Because, like, you know, a lot of anime games can be just, you know, the quality's not always there. As
an anime hater, you don't like anime.
Well, there it is. But this came on, and I saw it, and I immediately said, is that speedrunning platforming with deck building elements? Hell yes, I want to try this. And then it came to the Demo Festival, and I tried it, and I absolutely fucking loved it. As I alluded to earlier, this is like one of the games at the top of my list for games of the year right now. It is fucking awesome. You probably can hear in the background right now, Machine Girl is playing. Machine Girl is a EDM like duo band, and basically they wrote the entire soundtrack to the game, and I absolutely love it. That they had so much like creative control, because these days whenever you listen to a game's soundtrack, it is so much like, you know, 20 people worked on it, all different people, different visions. They try to come together to make something cohesive, but you know, they didn't just write the songs. There's themes for all of the different characters, and they wrote every single theme. Every single piece of music in the game is written by Machine Girl. It is really awesome. And a lot of the time, like, it's like a speedrunning FPS game, but like, the enemies don't really move that much. Like, the FPS can be trivial sometimes. It's essentially each level, like, you have to try and figure out how to get the platinum medal on it, and essentially every level is like a puzzle. Because you're not only are you trying to run fast, you're trying to figure out the quickest route to get there. And a lot of the time, you can just skip a bunch of stuff, because in order to complete a level, your only requirements to complete a level are you have to kill every single demon and get to the end. But a lot of the time, you can do tricks where you can kill demons earlier than you were supposed to, and then skip giant parts of the level, sort of thing, which is really, really fun to me. I'm a big fan of like movement speedrunning sort of games, where it's all about just spam playing levels until you can play them. You can see how I missed 2 demons. I'm like, shit.
No.
But yeah, because another thing that comes into it is, in order to progress through the story, you need a certain neon rank, and to upgrade your neon rank, you need to get enough medals. But it's never like, it never got to a point where it's like, oh, you need to be neon rank 1 to progress to the next part of the story. It's like, the requirements are very high. So if you don't want to go back and grind every single level to complete perfection, you're not going to have to finish the game. But I was someone who, like, as I was playing, essentially, I couldn't stop myself from just going back and every time I played a level, I would just improve. I would keep playing it until I got a better score, sort of thing. Because I love the gameplay of this so much. It is so much fun.
But yeah, it looks really great. I think I said this before, but yeah, it looks really smooth.
I was like, no, I was too close to getting the platinum medal, the diamond medal. I got to start again. I got to get the diamond medal.
Speedrun mentality.
You have like old ghost data. You collect a thing called insight. So when you get like the smallest medal, you unlock gifts, and gifts is important. It's important for the story, and it's important for extra challenge levels. So if you see, there's a pink gift up there on the screen. I don't know if you see it. But once you get that, you basically give that to your friends. So there's it, and that allows you to unlock more dialogue for them, but it also allows you to unlock special levels for them. What you saw there, once you become fast enough on a certain map, you unlock something called Insight, which then shows you like an eye on the map, and it says, hey, if you go this way, there's somewhere where you can completely skip an entire part of the map. So once you get like faster doing a map, the game will start to say, hey, there's like an even quicker route that we've built into the game, sort of thing. But it doesn't stop there, Tony, because you can come up with your own routes. And what happened was, there was this level I was playing, and I kept playing it, and I was like, I discovered something I didn't think the developer intended to be possible. And I was like, you know what? I think if I keep playing this level over and over again, I can get on the leaderboards. Because once you get the platinum level, that unlocks the global leaderboards for a level, so you can see how you did against everyone else in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm bopping my head up. Don't know if you see here. I was bopping my head up and down because I'm enjoying the music too much.
I was gonna say, like, I think it's a good idea to like not show like the world stuff unless you're actually doing good. I feel like if you don't care about that,
it can be like demotivated. Like, it will just go against your friends, sort of thing.
Yeah. So that's a really good idea. I like that.
But there was one level, Tony, and I figured out a route that I don't think anyone else figured out, and I just kept playing over again and min-maxing it, and I actually accidentally discovered there's a new medal that's not required to 100% complete the game. I'll just point this out now, but there's actually a thing that's above a diamond medal called a red medal, which is a developer medal. If you beat a level faster than the developer of the game beats a level, you get a secret red medal, which I accidentally unlocked on one of the levels. And I kept playing this game. I kept playing this level over again because I figured out this really cool route, and I was getting really, really good at it. And I actually got to top 150 in the world for the level. I was like 149 in the world for this neon white level, and I was like, that's really cool. Like, I just played this game over again, and like, it's like out of like 20,000 people or something, I was top 149 or something, which I was like, oh, that's really cool. That stuff feels really cool. So yeah.
Are you trying to get the gift, the purple thing in this?
Yeah, I'm not going fast now because I'm trying to get the gift up there. So I'm trying to figure out how to get the gift now. Like, what movement abilities do I need to use? Where do I need to go? So that's something I should explain, like, people who don't know about this game. You have guns and you need them to shoot enemies. And then you can also discard your gun, and discarding your gun gives you a movement ability.
Right.
This is one of the new guns that was not in the demo. This is called the Fireball. So it's essentially a shotgun, but if you discard it, you turn into a fireball, and anything you hit, you essentially like vaporize like a fireball would. You like, it essentially has like a volley physics sort of thing. Like, you'll go up and come down, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, like a projectile sort of.
Yeah, like you're like, yeah, you like arc, like you're a fireball sort of thing.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. There's also because
the enemies are really cool, by the way. Like, I feel like they're really, like they're designed to make you think about movement.
Shout out to fucking Angel Matrix. This game is so good. It is so well designed in so many ways.
The story looks lit as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fuck off, Taylor. The story is not. The story is fine, but it's like the dialogue of the characters is
from the bits I saw, I was okay with it, but
it gets worse. It gets
worse than that. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, I don't normally say stuff is cringe, but Neon White's dialogue is cringe.
It can get cringe. Okay.
Yeah. I like that these enemies are really interesting because when you shoot one, it destroys everything it's attached to, sort of thing.
Yeah, so you have to destroy the one at the back instead of one.
Yeah, so you can just shoot the chain attachment, and then it kills the enemy that it's looking at, rather than having to kill it individually, sort of thing. Tony, I don't think I need to say anything more than I'm about to say. There's a rocket launcher, and if you discard it, it becomes a grappling hook. I don't think I need to say more than that to get anyone to play
Need
Neon
I
White.
say more? No.
Need I say more? No.
I mean, you could have just led with that at the start, and then you just
Yeah.
ended the video. I'm gonna be honest.
So let's talk about like the overall arcing story and like feel of Neon White. So the idea is you're a Neon. It essentially is Heaven needs you to fight demons that attack. So they basically get a bunch of demons from Purgatory sort of thing, or Hell, I guess. It's sort of in like a Purgatory, like ocean sort of thing, and they pull you out of Hell like to go and fight these demons sort of thing. And essentially, there's a big competition, and whoever is the top Neon, basically gets to stay in Heaven as like the #1 demon slayer sort of thing.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's sort of like Battle Royale in that way, where only one can survive, sort of thing.
They want the best of the best to defeat.
So you meet other characters, and you make friendships with them, but it's also like, well, you have to beat them to be the #1 Neon sort of thing. So it's sort of like that dynamic. So one of the things it uses the amnesia trope. So basically, you've lost your memory, but everybody else who's there knows you. I want to say, thank God they named the characters after primary characters. That was such a good idea.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it would be as like good if like the characters were called like Sasuke, Sakura, and Ichigo and stuff. I was like, I wouldn't remember any of. I wouldn't remember any of the characters' names if they were named like that. But the fact that they're called there's a character called you are Neon White. Your friends are Neon Yellow. Your love interest is Neon Red. There's the most annoying fucking character in the game, Neon Violet, who is basically like that. Like, oh, I'm a weird girl who likes death. I like, that sort of trope.
Yeah. You got all the anime tropes for the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's. So the one thing I noted in my review, I was like, there is an option to skip the dialogue, and I said maybe I will use that when I play the full game. I decided to go through all the dialogue just to make sure that none of it was worth listening to, and I gotta say, I was correct. It is not worth listening to any of it, really. Especially the gift content. So the gift content is you give characters gifts, which helps you unlock these bonus challenges, and the bonus challenges are really fun and cool. I'd recommend getting the gifts to to get unlock that content.
It's cool that the gifts actually do something important to the game.
Well, I like
that's quite rare.
The thing with the gifts as well is not only are they unlock this cool content, but they also are just fun to collect. Like, it's fun to just find them in the level. Genuinely.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of anime games, they are like a lot, like almost all of them have like some sort of gift mechanic, and a lot of times it's like just both annoying to get the gifts and like why are you doing it other than like to like extra story stuff basically.
For the gift here now.
But yeah, if you get the story stuff, it's good to collect, and it's like a reason to collect it. That's
but essentially, the gift when you get the dialogue option for handing in the gifts rather than the levels, which are quite fun. They essentially are like bonus dialogue with the characters to learn more about them, but they essentially boil down that. So a lot of the dialogue between characters is voiced with proper voice acting. Whereas the bonus content from the gift is all text, none of it's voiced. But a lot of the conversations boil down to, hey, I used to eat pizza when I was alive. Man, I miss pizza. And it's like, yeah, I remember pizza too. Wasn't pizza cool? Yeah, wow. That is every single gift conversation. It's such a fucking waste of time.
Is this Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. It fucking sound I'm not kidding when I say every single GIF conversation in this game is a complete fucking waste of time. Do not listen to them. They are so fucking annoying and cringe. I cannot understate enough that I love the gameplay of this game, and it's so upsetting that like the dialogue and the acting of like, well, not the voice, but the dialogue and the writing of this game is really bad. Because like. That's been the theme of this year. Like, I think like Hellpie and Neon White have been like amazing games. They have amazing aspects to them, but I haven't had an inscription this year where I'm like, this game's a masterpiece. Everything about it is amazing. Where it's like Hellpie and Neon White are amazing, but there's a caveat because it's like
story.
This reminds me of obviously it's a lot longer and a lot like. More fleshed out than Boomerang X, but Boomerang X was, this game is so fucking good, but it's an hour long. That's what, you know, Boomerang X nailed down to me. Like, I want to play more of this, but it's an hour long. Please give me more. Whereas, you know, Neon White is a fully fleshed out speedrunning game that is genuinely fucking fantastic, but the dialogue is awful.
You just need to get your anime ears on. I think that's all you need to do.
I think you would agree that it's like absolutely.
Oh
awful.
yeah, I'm not going to say my homework, but I'm just saying for the stuff I heard,
the best character is Mikey though, and you find him cigars. I'll say that.
Okay.
The general story is fine. So it's just the GIF dialogue. Please do not listen to it.
Well,
this level is really cool. This level is really well designed. Because essentially all of the enemies are tied up to these like chain reaction things, and there's also glass panels that you can shoot underneath to kill all the enemies on the glass as well. And you're essentially shooting these before you get to them, so you can go down faster, because some of these enemies will push you back up. There's a huge skip on the left there where you can just ignore all this, because you just shoot the one at the end, instead of shooting all the individual ones.
You just
Essentially, you don't want to shoot the barrels here, because the barrels will blow you back up and actually slow you down getting to the bottom faster.
So you want to shoot before you even get to the barrel.
There's so many things that there's so many. The speedrunning platforming is so well designed, like genuinely, really, really well done. There's so many interesting movement demons in this game that make every level like every level is essentially a really interesting puzzle when it comes down to it.
It's also good that you can reset really quickly as well.
Yeah.
Some games messed it up, even though.
But yeah, as soon as I played this game, I immediately went and I bought the entire Neon White soundtrack. I think it's fantastic.
It was that good.
I love the Neon White.
Is it on Spotify, the music?
Yeah, it's on Spotify.
Okay, I was going to say.
It's on Spotify, it's on YouTube. One thing after I noted that I loved the soundtrack from the demo, and one of the things that I realized was, because I put one of the songs from the demo on my game soundtrack playlists, a lot of the songs for the demo aren't even in the full game. So there's like there's like entire like tracks from the demo that just don't exist in the full game, which is like kind of interesting because there's some really cool songs on the demo tracks as well.
But you can still listen to them outside of the game.
Yeah, you can listen to those on YouTube. They don't have like an official OST like the soundtrack does for the game, but yeah.
Okay.
Check out Neon White. I can't understate how good this game is. Just.
I feel like watching you move around. Like I feel like you either get it or you don't. Like I feel because I'm not playing it, but I can like see like why it works. So.
Just watching this, Tony, I want to go back and play it. I love this game so much, and it's at the end of the year, guys. End of the year. Make sure to check out the Inbetween podcast games of the year because you're going to be seeing more Neon White.
Big skip.
Okay. And the final game, Tony, I would say probably the front runner for Game of the Year. It's got to be Roblox Sonic Speedway.
So why is this a bit... Roblox is in the movement game. What's going on?
So, Tony, I talked about this in the podcast. Sonic made, I guess Sega, Sonic Team, made an official Roblox...
Sonic Team, yeah.
They made an official Roblox game mode for Sonic. And I
what is this shit though?
I did not understand it at first either. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, I have to play this and try and figure out why the hell they made this.
You got loot box on cooldown?
Yeah, so essentially the main gameplay of the game is you move really slow and you get faster by gaining XP, and you gain XP by picking up gems. So the faster you get, the more gems you pick up, sort of thing. And you're essentially just... I'm going to hold my hand because I realize my mouse is on the screen. Oh god. Okay.
That's a Roblox feature.
Right now it doesn't look very Sonic-y because I'm using the default Roblox skin, but eventually you unlock the ability to dress as Sonic. So I'll just skip that. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's Sonic now, guys. It's Sonic.
What? Okay. I just don't understand. I don't get Roblox. I'm not gonna lie. Roblox, I don't get.
I'm somebody.
I don't get the appeal.
I'm somebody who's played way too much Roblox for like a human adult.
Right.
I haven't played that much Roblox, but I feel like I've played it more. Like I feel like people will look at Roblox and go, "What the fuck is this?" Where I'm like, I've played a little bit of it. Like I've played this. I've played that weird like knockoff CS:GO in Roblox. I've played like the pizza, the pizza tycoon. I'm a curious guy. I just
okay.
I like figuring.
I don't want to play this.
I like figuring stuff out. Like
okay.
I would say like the difference between me and you is I'm much more willing to give something a chance. I think.
Yeah, but I think I don't need to give this a chance. I can see the shit.
Tony, this is something I wanted to point out. Have you noticed? Read the scoreboard on the right and try and figure out which is the name of my Roblox account.
Okay. Is this something to do with Janeway?
Can you read that?
Yeah, is it Janeway?
It says Janeway killed Tuvix is the name of my account. So, interesting fact about Roblox. I was gonna make my name I love Picard.
Yeah.
But it said that my name had a banned word in it, and I said what? So love apparently is a banned word in Roblox. You can't have love in your name for some reason. I was like, okay, fair enough. You can't have love in it. Maybe
I know they did the weird thing. Is like, oh, we're gonna get rid of like people holding hands and hugging. Is it why?
I think it was to clamp down probably on like child stuff, like like kids being taken advantage of, sort of thing. So I was like, okay, obviously, love being a banned word. Obviously, they wouldn't allow you to have the word killed in your name. No, you can't have love in your name, but you can have killed for some reason.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
So essentially, the gameplay boils down to you level up, which then gives you once you get to a certain level, you get the ability to take on like these challenge courses, and then once you beat these challenge courses, that allows you to go to a new world. So there'll be there's like a desert world, and then once you complete the desert world, that unlocks a new world, and it becomes like this almost like grindy loop. And like once you get enough gems and you start moving fast enough, the gameplay is actually alright. I don't hate this.
But why do you need to get the gems to speed up? Like I just feel like
it's not.
I don't know. I'm not seeing any appeal right now.
But it is awful in the sense that it's designed in a way to get you to spend money on Roblox. The actual gameplay's okay.
I mean, I'm not seeing the okay gameplay yet, but okay.
What if I have the other
maybe
hub world?
A different opinion on gameplay.
But once you start to get fast enough, it's actually pretty fast to move around. Like it's not.
But why? I just play a Sonic game.
Yeah. What do you mean?
That's no problem.
Tony, this is the best 3D Sonic game. What do you mean?
It's not.
I'm not fast enough to go around this spin yet. I need more gems. It's addictive. It's addictive. Getting the gems.
I will say the basic idea, like if in a Sonic game, like, the more something you collected, the faster you could go, or like you build up a speed.
I can't believe that'd
actually be a really cool mechanic.
Danny, I can't believe you're shitting on Sonic Frontiers when we're showing this alpha gameplay right now. Like,
I will say, I'm gonna be honest here. This is better than Sonic Frontiers, and I think this is shit.
Okay, we don't know that yet. Sonic Frontiers is
no,
going.
We don't know that yet.
Sonic Frontiers is going to be my game of the year after Sonic Speedway and Roblox.
Oh god, yeah.
But essentially,
the
core gameplay mechanic comes down to you unlock these new worlds, and then essentially you prestige your character. And then that allows your character to get to a higher level than it could get to before, which means you have potential to go even faster. So essentially it's just one big loop sort of thing. And it's not...
Right.
And the actual gameplay itself is fine in that sense. Like, it's okay, but it's like... It's clearly set up to get kids to go and nag their parents to give them more Robux to buy more Sonic Speedway XP. Well,
that's just... Isn't that just Roblox in general? Oh my god.
So essentially, I think they're just trying to capitalize on that market, which you may or may not agree with. But I think I was like another game I played this year. Tonight, I played Diablo Immortal. It was fine for the first like 30 minutes, but then they were like,
imagine if they didn't fuck it with the microtransactions. They'd actually be a decent mobile game.
Yeah, didn't you guys have phones?
I actually generally think that the base idea of having the console, but Diablo Immortal is actually decent.
Can I listen to the volume slider?
I thought let's remove that sound. What's going on?
Hey, this is pre-removing that sound. Guys, that's Tangerine.
Tangerine!
Goodbye!
Bye!